The sting of betrayal often comes not from an open enemy, but from the smiling face you once called friend. You're pushing forward, striving, building something, and yet there's a subtle drag, a quiet resistance you can't quite pinpoint. Today, we drag that resistance into the harsh light of day. We're dissecting the 7 unmistakable signs your friend secretly wants you to fail, because recognizing these wolves in sheep's clothing isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about reclaiming your trajectory and protecting your ascent. The modern world is a battlefield for your focus and your success. Those who truly wish you well are allies. Those who secretly wish for your downfall are saboteurs, parasites on your potential, and they must be identified and dealt with decisively. This isn't about paranoia, it's about sharp perception and ruthless self-preservation. Let's forge the awareness you need. First, let's understand the landscape. True friendship is a fortress, a source of strength, a place of genuine support. But the human psyche is complex. Envy, insecurity, a pathetic need to feel superior by seeing others stumble, these are the dark seeds from which the secret desire for your failure sprouts. This isn't about a friend offering tough love or constructive criticism from a place of genuine care. This is about a pattern of behavior, a consistent undercurrent of negativity and subtle undermining disguised, often expertly, as friendship. Your gut probably already senses it. We're here to give that instinct a voice and a framework. Sign number 1, the concerned critic. This is perhaps the most insidious sign because it cloaks malice in the guise of care. The concerned critic is a master of framing negativity as genuine worry for your well-being. You announce a new venture, a bold career move, a commitment to a challenging fitness goal, or even a new relationship, and their immediate reaction isn't excitement or encouragement, but a furrowed brow and a cascade of concerns. Are you sure you can handle that? It sounds incredibly risky. I'm just worried you're setting yourself up for disappointment. That industry is brutal, so many people fail. I just don't want to see you get hurt. She seems nice, but insert subtle, undermining observation designed to plant doubt. Notice the language. It's always cooshed in, I'm just looking out for you. But look closer. Is there ever a constructive suggestion? Is there ever an offer of tangible help? Or is it just a relentless highlighting of potential pitfalls, a constant questioning of your capabilities, a subtle erosion of your confidence? A true friend might point out genuine risks, yes, but they'll also brainstorm solutions with you. They'll believe in your ability to overcome challenges. The concerned critic, however, seems almost relieved if you express doubt, almost satisfied if you scale back your ambitions based on their concerns. Their concern is not for your success, but for the maintenance of their own comfort, which is often threatened by your growth. If you succeed, it highlights their stagnation. If you dare to dream big, it exposes their timidity. Consider Mark, who wanted to leave his soul-crushing corporate job to start a small, niche bakery. His friend, David, was the epitome of the concerned critic. A bakery, Mark? In this economy, the overheads will kill you, and what do you even know about running a business? You'll burn through your savings. David never once asked about Mark's business plan, his passion for baking, or the research he'd done. He just painted a bleak picture. When Mark, against David's advice, took the leap and after a tough first year started to see success, David's comments shifted. Well, you got lucky. Let's see if it lasts. The concern was never genuine. It was a desperate attempt to keep Mark confined to a level that didn't make David feel inadequate. The brutal truth here is that their concern is a projection of their own fears and limitations. They want you to fail, or at least not succeed too much, because your success is a mirror reflecting their own perceived shortcomings. What do? First, observe the pattern. Is this an isolated incident of caution or a consistent barrage of doubt? Second, test their concern. When they voice a worry, ask them directly. Okay, I appreciate your concern. What solutions or strategies would you suggest to mitigate that risk? A true friend will engage. The secret saboteur will falter, deflect, or offer more vague negativity. Third, and most importantly, shield your ambitions. Limit the information you share with such individuals. Your dreams are precious. Don't offer them up for target practice to those who masquerade as concerned, but are, in reality, aiming to shoot them down. Your energy is better spent building, not defending against manufactured doubt. Sign number 2, the joy diminisher. You finally get that promotion. You hit a personal best. You achieve a long sought-after goal. You're buzzing with excitement, and you share your good news with this friend. And the reaction, it's like letting air out of a balloon. The joy diminisher is an expert at sucking the life out of your achievements. This isn't always overt jealousy. Sometimes it's more subtle, more corrosive. They might offer a cursory, "Oh, that's nice," before immediately changing the subject to their own problems or even more tellingly, their own, often minor, accomplishments. They might find a way to subtly downplay your success. "Yeah, well, everyone's getting promoted in that department, aren't they?" Or, "That's cool, but did you hear about Sarah? She just bought a house." They might offer a backhanded compliment that we'll discuss later, or simply meet your enthusiasm with an unsettling blankness or a forced, unconvincing smile. The core of this behavior is an inability to genuinely celebrate your victories because, on some level, your success makes them feel diminished. A true friend shares in your joy. Their happiness for you is authentic and palpable. They ask follow-up questions. They want to hear the details. They amplify your good feelings. The joy diminisher, however, experiences your win as their loss. Your light shines too brightly, exposing the shadows of their own dissatisfaction or envy. Think of Sarah, who, after months of grueling training, completed her first marathon. She was ecstatic, physically exhausted, but emotionally soaring. She called her friend, Lisa, expecting shared excitement. Lisa's response, "Oh, cool, hey, did I tell you I got a new haircut?" When Sarah tried to share a detail about the race, Lisa cut her off to talk about a minor inconvenience she'd had at the supermarket. Sarah felt a cold deflation. The conversation ended quickly. Later, Sarah saw Lisa liking and enthusiastically commenting on other, less significant, social media posts from mutual acquaintances. The message was clear. Sarah's significant achievement wasn't worthy of Lisa's genuine engagement or celebration. This isn't just about them being self-absorbed. It's an active, albeit sometimes subconscious, attempt to ensure your happiness doesn't eclipse theirs, or that your success doesn't force them to confront their own lack of progress. They secretly want you to fail, or at least not succeed too spectacularly, because it keeps the playing field level in their minds or maintains their perceived superiority. The actionable response here is, again, observation. How consistently do they react this way to your good news? Compare it to how they react to the good news of others whom they perhaps don't see as direct competition. The contrast can be revealing. More importantly, learn to protect your joy. Share your biggest wins with those who have proven they will celebrate with you authentically. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Your accomplishments are yours to savor. If someone consistently tries to dampen your enthusiasm, recognize that their issue isn't with your news, but with your success itself. Gradually, create distance. Your triumphs deserve an audience that applauds, not one that subtly tries to dim the stage lights. Sign number 3, the gossip conduit targeting you. This sign is particularly treacherous because the friend positions themselves as your confidant, your ally, the one looking out for you by bringing you important information about what others are supposedly saying. They approach you with a conspiratorial air. "Listen, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but I thought you should know. X person was saying negative thing about your new project, your partner, your recent decision. On the surface, it seems like an act of loyalty. They're giving you a heads up, right? But look deeper. What is the effect of this information? Does it empower you? Rarely. More often, it creates anxiety, suspicion, and discord. It makes you doubt your other relationships. It can make you feel paranoid or isolated. The secret saboteur acting as a gossip conduit has several aims. Firstly, they enjoy the drama and the feeling of being in the know. Secondly, by selectively curating and often exaggerating negative gossip about you, they subtly position themselves as your only true friend, the one you can really trust. Thirdly, and most importantly, they are often the source of the negativity or are actively fanning its flames elsewhere, then reporting back to you under the guise of concern. They want to see you unsettled, worried, and potentially lashing out or making missteps based on the intel they've provided. This destabilization is a form of failure in their eyes. Consider Alex, who was working hard on a creative portfolio. His friend, Ben, frequently came to him with warnings. "Dude, I overheard Jessica saying your style is derivative." Or, "Tom thinks you're way out of your depth with that client." Alex naturally became stressed and defensive. He started to pull away from Jessica and Tom, who were actually supportive acquaintances. The truth was, Ben was jealous of Alex's talent and was subtly bad-mouthing Alex to others, then twisting their neutral or mildly critical comments into something far more damaging when reporting back to Alex. Ben's goal was to isolate Alex and cripple his confidence, thereby sabotaging his creative progress. A true friend might, very occasionally and with great care, inform you of something genuinely damaging being said if they believe it's crucial for you to know and act upon. But they won't revel in it. They won't make it a regular occurrence. They will focus on solutions, not just on relaying the negativity. How do you counter this? Be wary of anyone whose primary mode of communication is gossip, especially when it's consistently directed at making you feel bad or suspicious of others. Ask clarifying questions. Who exactly said that? In what context? What was their tone? Often, the gossip conduit will become vague or defensive. Observe if they ever bring you positive gossip about yourself or news of people speaking well of you. If it's always negative, that's a massive red flag. And crucially, don't take the bait. Don't let their reports incite you to immediate action against others. Instead, consider the source. Is this person trying to manipulate your perception for their own reasons? Often, the answer is yes. Shield your mind from their poison. They want you embroiled in negativity and suspicion. Starving them of that reaction is a powerful first step. Sign number 4, the subtle saboteur of opportunities. This is a covert operative in the war against your success. The subtle saboteur of opportunities doesn't openly tell you not to go for something. Instead, they employ a range of underhanded tactics to ensure you miss out, or that your path is more difficult than it needs to be. Their actions are designed to look like accidents, forgetfulness, or even well-intentioned misdirection. They might forget to pass on a crucial piece of information, a deadline, a contact person, an important meeting update. "Oh man, I completely forgot to tell you about that networking event. It was last night. So sorry." They might accidentally give you slightly wrong directions, not just geographically, but in terms of navigating a career path or a project. "Are you sure that's the right department to approach? I thought incorrect information was the way to go." They might subtly discourage you from pursuing clear opportunities by highlighting obscure, irrelevant downsides, or by feigning ignorance about something they clearly understand. "That company? I think I heard something vaguely negative about their culture a while ago, can't remember what." Just enough to plant a seed of doubt. Their goal is to create friction, to slow you down, to make you miss the boat, all while maintaining plausible deniability. If confronted, they'll feign innocence. It was an honest mistake. But a pattern of such mistakes, always conveniently to your detriment when an opportunity is on the line, is no accident. It's calculated. Imagine Chloe, an ambitious junior executive. Her colleague, presented as a work friend, named Liam, often seemed helpful. But Chloe noticed a pattern. When a high-profile project was announced, Liam forgot to forward her the initial interest email until just before the deadline, giving her almost no time to prepare a proper pitch. When Chloe was researching a new software crucial for her role, Liam helpfully suggested an outdated, less effective alternative, wasting her time. He'd accidentally leave her out of email chains discussing developmental opportunities. Each incident, taken alone, could be dismissed. But together, they painted a clear picture. Liam was subtly trying to hinder Chloe's advancement, likely because her rapid rise made him feel insecure about his own slower progress. The underlying motive here is often competitive envy. They don't want you to get ahead because it means they are, by comparison, falling behind. They can't openly obstruct you, so they resort to these subtle, deniable acts of sabotage. They secretly want you to fail to grasp these opportunities because it keeps you at their level or below. Your defense strategy here requires meticulousness and a degree of healthy skepticism. Double-check important information yourself. Don't rely solely on one person, especially if they have a history of such lapses, for crucial details regarding opportunities. Cultivate multiple sources of information. When someone offers advice that feels slightly off or discouraging about a clear path forward, seek a second or third opinion from genuinely trusted mentors or colleagues. Document patterns. If forgetfulness or accidents consistently cost you, it's time to recognize the intent behind them. Minimize their ability to act as a gatekeeper for information or resources vital to your progress. You are the guardian of your opportunities. Don't let a subtle saboteur pick your pocket. Sign number 5, the competitive underminer. While some saboteurs are subtle, the competitive underminer is often more overt, though still cloaked in the veneer of friendship. This individual sees life, and particularly your relationship with them, as a constant competition. Your success is not a cause for celebration, but a challenge to their own status. They must always be one step ahead, or at least perceived to be. How does this manifest? They might constantly try to one-up you. You share an achievement, and they immediately counter with something bigger or better they've supposedly done, often with a dismissive tone towards your accomplishment. "Oh, you ran a 5K? That's cute. I'm training for an ultra-marathon." They might subtly mock your efforts, especially if you're trying something new or challenging. "Still trying that little side hustle, are you? How's that empire coming along?" The sarcasm is designed to sting and make you feel small. They engage in constant, often unfavorable comparisons. They'll compare your career, your possessions, your relationships, even your appearance to their own or to others, always in a way that positions you as slightly lacking. They might do this directly to you or behind your back. The goal is to make you feel inadequate, to chip away at your self-esteem, so you're less likely to strive for more or to feel confident in your current achievements. Consider two friends, Jason and Kevin, who started their fitness journeys around the same time. Jason was disciplined and making steady progress. Kevin, less consistent, grew resentful. Whenever Jason mentioned hitting a new personal record in the gym, Kevin would say, "Yeah, but are you lifting as much as Mike? He's a beast." Or if Jason talked about his healthy diet, Kevin would mock, "Still eating rabbit food? I had a massive steak last night. You gotta live a little." Kevin wasn't trying to motivate Jason. He was trying to undermine Jason's commitment and achievements because Jason's success highlighted Kevin's own lack of discipline. Kevin secretly wanted Jason to give up, to fail in his fitness goals, so Kevin wouldn't feel so bad about his own shortcomings. The brutal truth is that the competitive underminer is deeply insecure. Their sense of self-worth is so fragile that it depends on feeling superior to others, especially those they perceive as peers. Your success feels like a direct threat to their ego. They don't want you to fail entirely, perhaps. They need you around as a benchmark for their superiority. But they certainly don't want you to surpass them or shine too brightly. Dealing with a competitive underminer requires you to disengage from their game. Refuse to be drawn into their comparisons. When they try to one-up you, offer a neutral, "That's good for you," and change the subject. Don't share your victories with them if you know they'll only try to diminish them or turn it into a competition. Your journey is yours alone. It's not a race against anyone, especially not someone who isn't even genuinely running their own race but is instead fixated on tripping you in yours. Recognize their behavior as a reflection of their own insecurity, not a valid assessment of your worth or progress. Let them compete with shadows. You focus on your tangible goals. If their undermining becomes too toxic or too frequent, a significant distancing or a complete cutoff is the most powerful move to protect your own drive and self-belief. Sign number 6. The fair-weather supporter disappears in crisis, resents your strength. This friend is all sunshine and smiles when things are going well for you, especially if they can somehow benefit from your good fortune or bask in your reflected glory. They love to be associated with success. However, the moment you hit a genuine crisis, a period of real struggle or vulnerability, they vanish like mist in the morning sun. Or perhaps even more tellingly, if you navigate that crisis with resilience and strength, they exhibit a strange resentment. When you're up, they're there. They'll attend your parties, celebrate your wins as long as it doesn't trigger their joy diminisher tendencies too much, and enjoy the association. But if you lose your job, face a health scare, go through a painful breakup, or encounter any significant adversity, their phone suddenly goes straight to voicemail. Their replies become brief and non-committal. They're too busy to meet or offer meaningful support. This disappearance act reveals their superficiality and self-interest. They were never invested in you, only in what you represented or what they could gain. But there's a more sinister variant, the one who doesn't just disappear but seems almost annoyed or put out by your crisis, or worse, subtly resents your ability to handle it with fortitude. If you show strength, if you don't crumble, if you find solutions and begin to recover, they might offer comments like, "Well, you always land on your feet, don't you?" with a tone that isn't admiring but almost accusatory. Or, "Must be nice to be so resilient," as if your strength is an affront to their own perceived helplessness or an invalidation of their expectation that you would flounder. Think of Maria, whose small business faced a sudden, unexpected downturn due to market changes. Her friend, Anna, who had always enjoyed the perks of Maria's entrepreneurial success, invitations to networking events, introductions to influential people, suddenly became scarce. When Maria, after weeks of intense effort, managed to pivot her business and stabilize it, she shared the news with Anna, expecting some relief or congratulations. Anna's response was a flat, "Oh, so you're fine then." There was an edge to it, a lack of warmth that Maria found chilling. It was as if Anna had been secretly hoping, or at least expecting, Maria to fail, and was disappointed by her resilience. The secret desire for your failure here stems from a few places. For the one who disappears, it's simply that your crisis offers them nothing. For the one who resents your strength, your ability to overcome adversity highlights their own lack of grit or their preference for you in a weaker, more dependent state. Your resilience might make them feel inadequate or rob them of the opportunity to feel superior by helping, a supposedly weaker person. They may have been waiting for your downfall to validate their own cynicism or to feel better about their own struggles. The strategy here is stark but necessary. A crisis is a powerful filter for true friendship. Note carefully who shows up, who offers genuine support, even if it's just an ear to listen, and who fades away or reacts strangely to your recovery. Those who vanish or resent your strength are not your friends. They have failed a fundamental test of loyalty and care. Don't chase them. Don't make excuses for them. Let their absence or their odd resentment be the final word. Invest your energy in those who prove their mettle when the storms hit. Your strength is not an offense. It is your asset. Anyone who makes you feel otherwise is broadcasting their own weakness and their secret wish for your diminishment. Sign number 7, the backhanded compliment artist. This is the maestro of the subtle insult, the ninja of negativity disguised as praise. The backhanded compliment artist delivers compliments that leave you feeling vaguely uneasy, slightly confused, and often a little bit worse about yourself. Their words seem positive on the surface, but there's always a sting in the tail, a qualifier that undermines the praise or delivers a veiled criticism. Examples are plentiful. "Wow, that presentation was surprisingly good. I didn't think you had it in you." Implies low expectations of your abilities. "You look great in that outfit. It's so much better than what you usually wear." Insults your past choices. "Congratulations on the promotion. They must have been desperate." Dismisses your merit. "Your new apartment is nice. It's very cozy." When cozy is clearly a euphemism for small or cramped in a judgmental way. "You're so articulate for someone who inserts subtle stereotype or perceived limitation." Condescending and offensive. The intention behind the backhanded compliment is to maintain an illusion of supportiveness while actually chipping away at your confidence and self-worth. It's a passive-aggressive way to express envy, disapproval, or a desire to keep you in your place. They get the social credit for offering a compliment, but the underlying message is often one of superiority or subtle disdain. They want you to feel a flicker of doubt, a moment of insecurity, because a slightly insecure person is less likely to fully own their power and achieve their highest potential. A person kept slightly off balance is less of a threat. Consider David, whose friend, Sarah, was a queen of the backhanded compliment. When David proudly showed her the first chapter of a novel he was writing, Sarah read it and said, "This is actually quite engaging. I'm impressed you managed to make it so readable." The "actually" and "managed to make it" subtly suggested she'd expected it to be poor. When David got a new, more prestigious job, Sarah commented, "That's fantastic for you. It's amazing what a bit of luck can do, isn't it?" Completely negating his hard work and qualifications. David always felt a little deflated after these interactions, even though Sarah was ostensibly praising him. This isn't just awkward phrasing. It's a deliberate, if sometimes subconscious, tactic from someone who can't bring themselves to offer genuine, unqualified praise because your achievements or positive attributes make them uncomfortable. They secretly want you to doubt yourself, to question your successes, because your unshakable confidence is something they perhaps envy or feel threatened by. If they can make you question whether your success was luck, or if your good qualities are surprising deviations from a lesser norm, they feel a perverse sense of control or restored equilibrium. What's the countermove? First, recognize the pattern. Is this a one-off awkward comment or a consistent style of praise from this individual? Once you see the pattern, you have a few options. You can choose to call it out directly, though calmly. "When you say it was surprisingly good, what did you expect?" Or "What do you mean by that?" This puts them on the spot to explain the implicit insult, which they often can't do without exposing their negativity. Often, simply showing you've noticed the barb is enough to make them reconsider using this tactic on you. Another approach is to simply ignore the backhanded part and respond only to the surface-level positive. "Thanks, I'm pleased with it too," and move on, giving no energy to the implicit criticism. Or if the pattern is persistent and clearly malicious, it's another strong indicator that this friendship is toxic and needs to be distanced or severed for the sake of your own mental well-being and confidence. Don't let their subtle poison seep into your self-perception. You define your worth, not their cleverly disguised criticisms. Conclusion: the unmasking and the path forward. Recognizing these 7 unmistakable signs your friend secretly wants you to fail is not about cultivating a world of suspicion. It's about developing Tilettery 04 Tilettery 21 discernment, a vital survival skill in a world where not everyone who smiles at you is your ally. It's about protecting your energy, your ambitions, and your mental fortitude from those who, either consciously or subconsciously, seek to undermine you. The concerned critic eroding your confidence with feigned worry, the joy diminisher who can't stand to see you shine, the gossip conduit sowing discord and isolation, the subtle saboteur of opportunities derailing your progress through accidents, the competitive underminer needing to feel superior at your expense, the fair-weather supporter who vanishes in storms or resents your resilience, and the backhanded compliment artist delivering praise that stings. These are not the actions of a true friend. They are the hallmarks of envy, insecurity, and a quiet desire to see you stumble. The brutal truth is, some people are more comfortable with your potential than with your actualization. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your courage highlights their fear. Your success feels like their failure. And so they engage in these behaviors, hoping to keep you tethered, hoping to see you falter, so they can feel better about themselves. What do you do with this knowledge? This isn't a call to witch hunts or dramatic confrontations, unless a direct boundary setting is clearly necessary. Often, the most powerful response is a quiet, decisive internal shift followed by strategic external action. Observe, identify the patterns. Trust your gut when something feels consistently off. Then act. This might mean slowly creating distance. It might mean limiting the information you share with certain individuals. It might mean no longer seeking their validation or approval. In some cases, it might mean a clean, sharp severance of the tie. This is an act of radical self-respect. You are on a journey of growth, of becoming unstoppable, of building mental toughness. You cannot afford to carry passengers who are drilling holes in the boat. Your circle should be a source of strength, encouragement, and genuine support. If it contains elements that secretly wish for your failure, you are betraying your own potential by tolerating their presence. The path to your best self requires you to be ruthless in eliminating what holds you back, and that includes relationships that drain your energy and subtly sabotage your efforts. It's a hard truth, but an essential one for anyone committed to serious self-improvement. Use these signs as a lens. See clearly. And then, have the courage to make the changes necessary to protect your ascent. Surround yourself with those who genuinely want to see you win, who celebrate your victories as if they were their own, and who offer a steady hand when you stumble, not a hidden foot to trip you further. Your future self, the one who achieves those audacious goals, will thank you for the clarity and courage you demonstrate today. Now go forward, build your fortress, and choose your allies wisely.